Hello, new and returning sneakies. I hope you guys are doing great today. If you are new, hello, I'm Kruzadar. I'm a variety creator here on YouTube and TikTok and all that good stuff everywhere. But I hope you guys are doing great today. Today, I want to kind of react and do a little chit chat over gym clothing because it seems to be a huge thing. My whole For You page is just pushing like gym talk drama, even though I'm never on gym TikTok. So it's very interesting that I'm getting this. But essentially, there's this whole drama or debacle going around about what women are wearing to the gym. So I feel like maybe it's a good chat for all of us to kind of have and also see what's going on, because like one of the big main points is these specific shorts that are called defined shorts. I don't know what they are, so I feel like I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on what is appropriate and isn't appropriate maybe to wear to the gym, do some reaction stuff, and then post review is kind of, I think, a good format for this.
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure?
So that said, in terms of things being worn to the gym and whatnot, as long as you're not sexualizing yourself, I don't think it should matter. For example, you know, there's different sports and stuff. I played softball, so we had softball pants, and those were basically leggings. I mean, if you've seen women or baseball pants even on guys, it like hugs your butt, but it's super comfortable. Like I would choose very tight fitting softball pants versus looser baggy softball pants because it's just way easier to move in. So I understand where women are coming from with wanting to wear leggings or these legging form shorts. Now that said, I do think there's a greater issue kind of going on in the space, specifically towards like gym talk and influencers. As we've had influencer culture be more idolized and things like that, we're definitely running into a problem, in my opinion, of a lack of consent going on. And also too many, it's really a platform issue of allowing people to upload these sexualized videos. So and what I mean by this is, while inherently recording yourself isn't harmful, I feel like people have just, especially since COVID, decided to forego people's privacy or just having any not even regular, people are just lacking more awareness, or they just don't care. And it's part of the reason I don't film myself in public like a lot of people do when they're influencers and stuff. I'm not trying to get people in my background. It's also a reason IRL live streaming is kind of a weird idea for me as well. It's also like security issues with things like that. But like that leading into, you know, a lot of social media, again, as a greater issue, promotes sexualized content. And so even if we have these problems with these influencers performing these ways, I need you guys to remember, attacking those people is not going to change the culture of what people are per se wearing, especially if we're having a problem with it being specifically sexualized, right? So for example, say women or men acting inappropriate in the gym. I know I've seen videos, I know you guys have seen videos where there's girls that are essentially filming for their OnlyFans in the gym, which is not appropriate. Like that needs to be staying at home. I also feel like gyms in general need to be banning people for doing this. Like it's not, gyms need to be cracking down. I feel like social media needs to be cracking down. We're kind of in this greater issue of the society right now where sexualized content is not being moderated. I'm not saying I have a problem with sex work. I do think it is promoted too much and it's glamorized to high hell when it should not be. But that said, I don't agree with it being on every platform. I think it is specific content that needs to stay in its specific space because it's not appropriate for to be doing porn in the general public, right? And so that's my problem with having it on these general spaces. Well, when you have these women, and I'm not saying guys don't do it too, right? But there's these women that do film these TikTok videos at very inappropriate angles, and TikTok allows them to upload these videos. It's not the first genre that TikTok has allowed this to happen with. This happens with yoga. It happens with live streaming. There's this whole, again, I feel like it's more of a culture problem. I'm going to watch some videos. We'll kind of see what it is. I do also feel like this super tight clothing, not that there's anything inherently wrong with it, but if you are wearing clothing to sexualize it when you go to the gym, you are part of the problem. I know some women don't want to hear that, but again, wearing it because you're comfortable working out in it is one thing entirely. Wearing it because you're trying to look hot at the gym, I think is very silly. There's nothing inherently wrong with wearing a sports bra. Sports bras, you need to wear them, and sometimes you have to wear multiple bras, but if you're wearing multiple bras to the point where you're just trying to show your tits off, that's like, that in my opinion deserves a shame. Like, that's, I'm not saying just having boobs, because bigger breast problems, right? But I'm talking about purposefully shoving your tits up and trying to, while you're working, like, I think that's silly. I personally don't wear the, what is it called? I'm going to say yoga shorts. I just don't know what the proper term for them is called. I don't personally wear them because I'm not comfortable in them. And the reason I'm not comfortable in them is because I can't find any that fit me in terms of waist to butt ratio. Just is what it is. That's why I don't wear them. I also think it makes my cooter smell. This is also another thing that should be talked about. Guys, those products are not 100% cotton, and they don't replace underwear. So that said, sweaty and tight, you're giving way less breathability to your cooter, and if you use a machine, you should be wiping it down after. This goes for anybody. It's normal to have sweat, and as a woman, it's an orifice. So it's going to sweat itself as well. But that said, when the more tight objects you're putting on that area, the more especially when it's not cotton, you're gonna have more fluids and stuff kind of going on, and stink building up through there. A lot of these shorts are like polyester material. They're not cotton. So you're removing breathability from that. Also, I do agree, again, I don't think they're inherently wrong bad to be wearing. Not wearing underwear with that, or at least a thong of some sorts to create a second barrier, I do think is gross. Also, you're making it a lot easier to see your parts down there when you're doing certain exercises. I know people are like, oh, you shouldn't be looking, but if I just happen to glance or look out of the room, I'm like, oh, this is the set I'm going to go to next. Like, naturally, you're going to be, oh, who's on it right now? Things like that. If I look over and I see it staring at me. You know what I mean? Because it's very obvious, right? If I see it staring at me and it's like going inside of you, and you're like spread eagle, there's, did you see what I'm saying? Like, I know there's stretches and stuff for like that, but if you're just like, maybe consider different clothing, or again, it's maybe just try to be a little bit aware of what's going on. Again, I think more people need to look at what they're wearing. And again, not all cuts are like that. I heard some girl saying that some of these, tight shorts, that they are building a dip in, so they go in and accentuate it. If that is the case, whatever brand, I don't know if these are the defined shorts or not, that should be a big no. We should definitely be shunning that. It's not appropriate to be wearing in public. I'm not, again, as long as you're not sexualizing yourself in public, I just think that's what the greater issue of this is people are really getting tired of the lack of consent from filming them, and just, I mean, it's even something I hate with live streamers in the space, that they make everybody else look bad with us, is everyone's shoving a camera in everybody's face. It's so exhausting. Like, I'm very convinced that we're going to go through a space with tech. My husband feels the same way, where people are just going to get so burnt out on essentially just this lack of consent between AI, and just how people act disrespectful, that we might see a huge dip in terms of people using tech. I mean, younger generations are doing that and going to trade school even. Like, it's something. But yeah, I think that's the greater issue. It makes anyone that is filming themselves look bad. I also think people just need to put their phones away more at the gym. I don't feel like it's really appropriate to be filming at the gym, or if you're taking a quick progress picture, that's one thing. But if you're trying to take multiple promotional spots for your social medias page, I think that's weird. And if you're, well, not, how do I explain this? It's, if you're gonna do that, you need to go to an appropriate spot in the gym where you're not constantly having people in your camera that don't want to be filmed. Someone could be having a bad day. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times where it's like someone gets taken out of context in the background for glancing once at somebody. There's a problem if you're staring, dude, but like quick check in someone else. It's like, that's human nature, right? How staring is inappropriate. Looking once and glancing, and I see stuff like that taken out of context regularly, or it's just people are having a bad day in the background and resting bitch face. I mean, it's just like stuff like that causing, you're bringing people into spaces that shouldn't be there. Also, something people don't think about is when you're filming others like that, who's to say someone doesn't have a restraining order or is trying to get away from hiding and away from stalkers and things like that? You've now, if that ends up on their page, they now know where that person lives or has moved to. Not saying that's in the majority of problems, but people don't think, I feel like people really don't think about others enough. And it causes problems. It's like a lack of empathy. So yeah, now that I've monologued that, let's look at these defined shorts. Okay, so these impact shorts, I guess is another, what it can also be called. These are the shorts that people are having a problem with. So let's look at them a little bit. They're definitely made to accentuate your butt. The way it's cut, the material being thinner. Now we could say like, yeah, I mean, there's not a straight back shot here. I don't feel like these bright colors are the best way to be looking at it. Like, this is a little more obvious. They're definitely made, I mean, they're cut to make your butt look bigger. I can understand as a girl, less material, because this looks like it's a less material zone, a more breathable area. But like, if that's the case, you know, is it more breathable in the crotch? No, it looks like it's the same. I mean, of course, you're not going to take a picture of straight underneath. I mean, maybe it is more breathable through there. Let's go to TikTok. I mean, they're black, but these don't look any different than Nike Pro shorts. Yeah, it's definitely thinner material. Oh, is it like... Okay, so this is where I had a feeling we were going. Okay, so it's got a hard seam that accentuates and sits inside of your ass crack.
So for those of you that are saying that
White is a bold choice here.
the defined shorts are not see-through, y'all are just in the wrong lighting, because all right here you can see through, and you can't really tell because of the TikTok camera, but it's literally see-through. And for so long I wasn't sure because my usual gym is dark, but when you go right around this area, it's very see-through. So thankfully I brought some sweatpants, but yeah, $50 for see-through shorts. I mean,
if it's see-through there, I don't think that's appropriate to be wearing in public.
as well get the TikTok shop ones or the ones from Amazon, because
maybe she
Yes.
bought the wrong ones,
see
but
that.
I mean, accurate because I got the pink shorts and I don't even wear them because they're see-through. Can literally see anything. I zoomed in and checked for you're real for this. Certain colors can see through. I started getting them on AliExpress instead for $8 to $9 free shipping because TikTok wants to overprice them. Are they all this way or just the white one? Just the lighter colors.
I was lying to my best friend. I'm not where I said I'd be.
Man, this girl's really spending her time showing them off. If it's see-through through there, even if it's the lighter colors, this and people are, yeah, I don't, if you're wearing the lighter colors in public and it's see-through, that's gross. That's gross. Now, I will say, slut shaming people just for wearing these, I don't think is appropriate because the way you dress isn't what makes you slutty. It's your actions and intentions, right? And I know people are going to say, oh, they disagree because like clothing and stuff like this. It depends on where you're at with clothing, right? Context always matters with clothing. If you're going to, say, a funeral in a swimming suit, not appropriate, right? Going to the gym and, yeah, I think that's silly. You can't expect people to not wear something that accentuates their figure. Especially when the trend is to have a big butt, right? It's been for the last decade, it's been having a big butt. 10 years prior to that, it was to be like cocaine skinny, right? Taz is just laying there and going crazy with this toy behind me. If it's see-through and you're wearing them to the gym, maybe, hey, ladies out there, maybe go reevaluate under strong lighting in your bathroom if you can actually see through it or not. Right? But again, yes, I think that's, if you wear them to the gym and it's see-through, I think that's gross. If you weren't aware, now you know. If you continue to do it, I think that's very weird, right? I would say that's weird and gross because it's not just your giblets down there is not just cleavage being out, right? I also see people, speaking of other things that with gym talk I've seen being controversial, is people just saying that you can't wear tube tops to the gym. Like the Bandos. As long as someone's not doing crazy exercise at the gym, I think that's totally fine. Do I think it's a little weird? Yes, but like, if you're at the gym and you're not bouncing all over the place because you just, again, you for some reason you don't want support and that gets you off. You like your boobs, like boobs bouncing are painful, man. So as long as someone's not doing that, I think it's fine. Now, wearing it and then trying to sexualize your whole fit at the gym, I think is weird. I also saw some people, there's like this dress outfit that's kind of at the gym, gym dress. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here we go. I saw people freaking out over this as well. These dresses.
What I wear to the gym entirely.
I don't.
For a reason, I decided to wear a tennis dress to the
actually,
gym.
this is interesting. Can
What
they
I
be
wear
worn
to
at the gym?
entirely dictates how my workouts go. So on this random Wednesday morning, for whatever reason, I decided to wear a tennis dress to the gym. Do not ask me why I thought this was a good idea. I immediately set myself up for failure. I guess I just wanted to see if it was practical to wear in the gym, even though it is clearly only meant for tennis-related activities. Anyways, I walked into the gym, got on the treadmill, and started running. I wanted to see if this dress could even withstand a 3-mile jog.
See what I mean? Like, she's being respectful with where her camera is. She could put it directly in front of her and be filming everybody behind her. She's like kind of got it at an angle where you're not directly, And she's cropped people out. I mean, they're kind of still there, but she's doing this
Surprisingly,
right.
it was really supportive. However, the skirt part kept.
Also, oh, I hate when people record for too long or just like sit. Like, I know people sit at the gym and they just record for like ever and take up space at the gym. We should be shaming people for doing that. There's like getting some film for your stuff, and then there's like filming the whole time you're in a gym. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
Kept bouncing up and down, so it felt like I was flashing the gym the entire time I was running. The only reason I didn't stop is because there are shorts underneath the skirt part, so I knew I wasn't actually showing anyone my butt crack. But overall, it was not a comfortable experience. So once I finished that, I made my way back to the weight room because I wanted to see how this dress dealt with lifting. I began with squatting and didn't have any issues, but once I moved on to deadlifting, that's when I felt like I was exposing myself yet again. But as a reminder, there are shorts and I didn't actually flash anyone.
This is what I saw some people trying to get mad over it. This... Now, I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with wearing this. This is going back to the Bando comment. Do I think it's weird to wear this and not wear a bra when you're doing jumping activity? Like, I know that doesn't feel good. There's no way with that size chest.
Ain't had to say my name.
There's no way that feels good. I feel like there's no way that feels good. I've tried, not for filming, right? But I have, if I don't have enough support, like, I'm moving a lot more than this. But like, I know that doesn't feel good. She's got big enough breasts where those hurt, in my opinion. But people freaking out, like, I think this is, I think the issue, I mean, it's got shorts underneath. I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think anything inherently is wrong with wearing a tennis dress to the gym. But if you're doing something like this where you've got no upper support for your ladies, I think that's odd. Like, at that point, why are you not just wearing a skirt or like a tennis skirt and then wearing a sports bra? If you're doing yoga and stuff, I kind of get it. And it looks like she's at like a women's only gym. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. You know, let's see if maybe other people are doing that. She looks like she's wearing a this one might actually have a bra built in. This one's, that one, I can't tell if that one's got a different back than the other girls. See, this is what I saw people freaking out.
May I help you? Like, do we got a problem? You looking at?
I like,
You looking?
this girl doesn't have giant honkers. She's not gonna jiggle. Like she adds a strap to her top. Like, yeah, now I would be worried about personally it sliding down even with some activities, but she's not really gonna jiggle. She's respectfully, there's nothing wrong with not having a little stuff up there. I do think it's, I think, again, that's a really that's a small top. That is a small tube top. I also think this is, you dress less modestly to the gym today, and I don't feel like you can get mad at people for this, for kind of staring at you though. It like, I'm sure that they're wondering like how this is working potentially, right? I would, as a girl, I would be like confused. I'd be like, how is the tube top working in a gym? Because it is weird. It is weird. You don't see a tube top in a gym because it doesn't really make sense to work out in a tube top. So I feel like I feel like what happened, I feel like this is rage bait. This looks like this happened last year. I feel like this is a rage bait video. It is resurfacing 100% because of all the gym drama going on.
Wait, you guys love black dress gym girl, who's in this chat?
Okay, welcome everyone. I'm glad you're all here because of Black Dress Gym Girl. I happened upon this because some guy was freaking out that some girl was practically wearing lingerie and like pretty much couldn't go to the gym, and he needed to start asking women to be more modest. Can you not handle when a bad bitch is in the gym?
I don't like this mindset. I really don't. This mindset doesn't happen sometimes. Again, it's all context. It's all context, right? I don't like this mindset in a lot. Not a lot, but some girls do this where it's like, there's a time and a place though, man. Like I don't know if it's the other video of the girl in the black dress that they were talking about. I don't like this mindset though, because again, there's a time and a place. And at what point do we like draw the line of what people are wearing too? Because if these, especially like, you know, example, like we just talked about, or that girl just pointed out with the defined shorts being see-through in certain spots, why are we saying that's okay to wear those? And like, why are we not telling the brand to, especially as women, to be like, hey, this is like see-through, you should be fixing this. Why are we excusing it? Doesn't really make sense to me. This is where like things get out of control, and then what happens is you just create a stronger divide, especially between guys and girls. And then it's also, especially with, again, as I talked about, kind of like more of a broader cultural problem of that porn is glorified right now and is very rampant to be like into right now, correct? So it seems like a lot of built up frustrations in a lot of different areas, but this mindset right here does not help things. This doesn't help. Especially when there's, again, maybe if it's not, I'm assuming it's the first video because that other video was viral, right? And it's retrending right now. The only issue I saw with that, like, and why don't we just talk about that? We look at the video like, oh yeah, there's like no support up top, but like using that video to rant about what other people are wearing in the gym, I feel like is silly because there's like way worse stuff out there. But maybe they're worried about their videos getting taken down by, you know, because they're wearing defined shorts.
Because I looked up the girl, black dress gym girl. She looked fabulous. She looked fully covered. She wore a spaghetti strap. This is making me think of when we were in high school and it was like, if I can see your shoulders, you're like out of dress code. Like that's what it's giving. Can men not handle themselves? I think that's the actual problem, the actual question here is why can men not handle themselves if a woman is presenting as a bad bitch to the gym?
Again, right? Context subjective. If you're going to the gym to be sexualized and stared at and make content at, there's a problem. Just wearing gym clothing does not set the standard to that you're in that spot directly. So yes, if there are guys doing that, right? Again, all the stuff I've kind of talked about.
So you want to be able
see like this, I mean, she's got a bigger butt and it's lighting.
Never justify paying $60 for these when TikTok has them for $8. $8.
I mean, here's the thing. This is this insane? Yeah, because like but like there's literally leggings that do the same thing that everybody was wearing. That was a trend for a while too. It's like scrunchy in the butt area. It was literally trending over COVID of people wearing those leggings in like between 2020 and 2022. Yeah, in there were leggings that were scrunchy in the butt and arguably made your butt look bigger than this, and everybody was like wearing them to the gym and buying them. So like, why are we? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was an uproar with it around then. At this point, I don't find maybe these would fit me right, but like, I wouldn't wear this out. I like buying and wearing like basketball type shorts if I'm going to wear shorts most of the time. Now, if I'm going to play like softball and stuff like that, I want to wear softball pants because like that's what I'm comfortable in. Right? Dirt, scraping, like you're diving and shit. But you're at a gym, dude. Like, I don't know. I think it's different if you're sexualizing yourself at the gym and you're wearing those, like, yeah, you should probably be getting in trouble for that. Maybe like a warning. I don't know. Maybe that's what gyms need to start doing, is dishing out warnings to people or banning people. That's what I think. Have a dress code. Like, if people are so frustrated with this, like, just encourage gyms to have a dress code and like stop blaming the girls 100%.
I've said it before.
Some girls, again, if it's being sexualized, that's one thing. Like this I think is weird. Even though this is, I don't know. I don't understand. These have confused me, right? Because I get the shorts and I get the sports bra, but like the whole, it's like a, I don't get this. I don't get these, or when the leggings are longer. I don't understand those. Like that, these don't look comfortable to me. I would never. Yeah, see, like there, it does it kind of on her butt. Like this type of scrunching pattern was popular with leggings. I don't understand wearing those. If you have to go to the bathroom, you have to take the whole thing off, which is like already really awkward. Like this design, I don't get the rompers and jumpsuits. I don't get the tight rompers and jumpsuits for gym wear. But again, that's just me. Yeah, I think this is kind of exactly what I thought it was, which is just, yeah, I think people are more frustrated that I don't want to say it's like a bluff. It's not a bluff. I think it's a frustration misdirect. These videos kind of confirm me. Frustration misdirect is a great way to describe it. I think people are just tired of being filmed, especially without consent in public. I think people are tired of the phones, people jerking around on gym equipment, and I think people are frustrated from porn culture and softcore porn just constantly being promoted. But again, like, and they're misdirecting their aim at average women with gym clothing versus the minority that are probably causing problems, which again, if there's a minority of people at the gym genuinely like have their cooter out and stuff basically with these shorts and it's see-through and everything, maybe she doesn't know, or go tell staff. Like I think that's what needs to happen. Like there's no reason to be rude to these girls. Now, if someone is very obviously sexualizing themselves for the camera and they're like getting off on it, you know, like making noises, you know, stuff like basically doing porn, but in semi-clothing, yes, those people deserve to be called out. That's gross. You should be showing that to gym people. In general though, we need to be getting frustrated at apps for allowing people to upload content like that. Like inappropriate camera angles. I think people are so frustrated and it's getting misdirected. And guess what? People would probably stop. You would stop seeing behavior like that at the gym if just straight up there wasn't, like, TikTok encourages you to do that because that's what gets views. I've made an account as a guy. They do push that stuff towards you. Starting an account on TikTok if you put yourself as a woman versus a man is an entirely different experience. Let me tell ya. I did it just to do some research because I thought guys were making it up. No, it's a thing on every app, unfortunately. So I think there's a broader issue, and I think like as a general public, we should be focused on getting annoyed with apps for allowing and promoting content like that when it's not appropriate. So I think that would solve a lot of problems. You would see less people probably wearing stuff like that or filming themselves like that at a gym. And then outside of that, you're just going to deal with people being annoying, more or less. But I think people are overreacting quite a bit to some of the shorts and stuff. It's not any different. It's not any different than what people have been wearing to the gym, or with, again, like cheerleading shorts, like Nike Pros, like people were wearing them. Again, I'm comfortable in like basketball shorts and stuff. Doesn't mean everybody else is. And I get it. But yeah, I do think the underwear, not wearing underwear, wearing the see-through clothing, intention of how you're recording yourself, stuff like that. That's more the root of the problem. So yeah, there's that. This went about exactly as I expected it to. People are really at one another's throats over this. That's insane. Well, hey, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.